Samir, in our times, okay, I shouldn't say in our times, but yeah, in the 1990s, information was always the key. A banker was expected to know everything about his product and then know about how to talk and things of that nature. Now, with this change that has happened and with information being completely democratized, with the way the internet has boomed, the customers at times know more than the banker. And that becomes a big challenge for specifically a personal banker, as you're aware. The point is that what is it that organizations like yourselves need to make available in this digital ecosystem to enable the personal banker to still differentiate himself, especially in this digital ecosystem? What are the ways you think that the bank sales teams need to be enabled and differentiated? And Samir, I know you've been away from India for some time, so bring us some global perspective as well. I don't think customers and consumers and personal bankers change too much. We still remain humans. So look forward to your views on that, Samir.
While information might be available to all consumers, I think there is still a role for our salespeople to play. And when I mean salespeople, I mean all sorts of sales job families in the bank, right? So let me start by saying, what is it that we need to do to be differentiated and enabled? Well, firstly, you've got to start the process with the right type of people to hire. So you've got to make sure that your talent acquisition process acquires the right talent. And for that, obviously, as an organization, you've got to deliver what the RM is looking for as well. And these are the few points, right? One is, the next is have the best-in-class training and development program. That also looks at external certification. For example, in Standard Chartered, we've just launched an external certification program with INSEAD for our priority banking RMs. And this is particularly important for relationship managers that deal with affluent and ultra-high net worth customers that we have across our geography. The third point I'd make is, make sure that the RMs are enabled with the right CRM solution that gives them access to all internal bank data relevant for the clients. It also gives them an ability to be able to see leads and triggers that the central analytics team in the bank provides to them, so that they're able to obviously use their time more optimally when they deal with customers, both customers in their portfolio and potentially prospects that they can target as well. And again, a lot of these points, Alok, I'm making with respect to relationship managers that are managing this particular segment. You also have to have the right team leaders that are trained in coaching these sales teams. It is really important. This isn't about carrot and stick, but more around how do you enable the managers to be better coaches. And you've got to have the rigor and discipline of sales management. And this is broader than just relationship managers, of measuring activity and outcome. And this is something that we ran in the bank a few years ago as a program called SCB Way. Shalini will remember that. And then, of course, what is important for us to attract the RMs and enable them is a transparent incentive program through a balanced scorecard approach, which again balances the client interest as well. So a lot of institutions like ourselves have moved away from product-specific incentive to moving to a broader client-specific incentives, right? So I think that's quite important. This needs to be transparent as well, so the RMs have a clear line of sight into what they can earn if they were to deliver a certain outcome on the basis of this scorecard. Career progression, quite important for RMs. What we've done in the bank over the years is we've removed the human element in determining career progression for RMs. It's a formula-based approach. It bases the progression or promotions for RMs based on scorecard performance over a certain consecutive number of quarters. It also removes the biases that supervisors have sometimes in making these decisions around promotions for RMs. And this is really important for attracting the type of talent that we're looking for to bring in as RMs. Last couple of points. So I think particularly in the wealth advisory space, it is important for us to provide the right tools to our RMs, and this includes all the way from portfolio. For example, in the bank we have a tool called PII. This is looks at the customer portfolio, comes up with recommendations on products that are suitable for the customer for their risk profile, and then takes it on to actual product recommendation based on the research that the bank does. This is just one example of a tool that we provide the RMs in engaging the customers. And the last point I'd make, Alok, is you've got to have specialists to support the RMs because the diversity of products that we offer to our affluent and ultra high net worth customers is very complex for just one RM to manage. And hence we've got a nice ecosystem of wealth specialists that support the RMs in engaging the customers around this advice. So let me pause and hand it back to you, Alok. And these are the few points that we think are quite important for us to enable our sales teams.
I think Sameer has covered it pretty well in terms of the entire span from kind of, recruitment to training, etc. And I think to a large extent, while Sameer spoke about relationship managers and serving high net worth individuals, etc., to a large extent, that is something that is replicable and needs to be replicated across even normal branch banking. So if you again, I can relate very well to what Federal Bank think. With 1,280 branches, we're still small when compared to some of the others, but it's still got to have, the tool to be able to measure what a branch head in Guwahati is doing versus what a branch head in Banjara Hills, Hyderabad, where I'm sitting right now, is doing, and come to a position which tells me very clearly, are they both performing at equal terms or not? And therefore, and this can't be done, subjectively. It's got to be done objectively. So I think the role of the scorecards becomes extremely important. How do you get a balanced scorecard in place which can balance the needs of the organization, make it clear to them literally on a day-to-day basis how they're performing on it? And the second element is the commonality of training across these entire spectrum of people. Again, making sure people sitting in one geography versus people sitting in the other geography have the same level of training